Michael told you a little bit about our family tradition of dumb but true stories. They're very competitive. I hadn't realized you'd pushed the envelope so far. I could tell you a lot of stories about how my dad taught me to take apart an outboard motor and destroy it, never put it back together again, how to not peel an hard-boiled egg. But lots of dads do those things. I'd like to tell you about some dumb but true stories that taught the real lessons in life, how to approach your problems with enthusiasm and a really good sense of the absurd. When I was a kid, he was big on pets. I was on vacation here in Maryland, and I found a little toad. And I was very excited to show him the toad. A lesser man would have said, "Very nice, now put it back where you found it." But my dad was not a lesser man. He helped me pack that toad up and fly him to Chicago, where we went to a pet store and got a huge glass container, and we filled it with dirt and plants and bought a toad swimming pool and some mealworms. A lesser man would have said, "Okay, we're done. We can just wait for the toad to die." But that wasn't him. We went to the back doors of restaurants until we found one that gave us a giant jar. We filled it with oatmeal, and we filled it with mealworms. And then we waited until the mealworms became beetles, who made more mealworms, who made more beetles, until we had a circle of life going. And that's how I fed the toad. He had a philosophy of some was good, more was better, and too much was awesome. He also liked to make the angles work for him. Shortly after I got my driver's license and my first speeding ticket, pretty much simultaneously, I came to Maryland for the summer, and he picked me up at the airport and was very intent on teaching me and talking to me about safe driving. He was very intent on that lesson, so intent that he blew through a stop sign and ended up going the wrong direction, had to pull a U-turn over a double yellow line, and that attracted the attention of the airport police. Now, a lesser man would have pulled over and taken his medicine, but my dad was not a lesser man. He turned to me with a look of pure glee and said, "The airport police only have jurisdiction on the airport. All we have to do is outrun them." He hit the gas, I hit the back of my seat, and we were off. Unfortunately, he made a wrong turn, and it slingshotted him right back onto the airport property. He was very calm, pulled over. Now, this is a dumb but true story, and the way we always tell it, they came with their guns ready to take us away to the whatever scout they have on the airport property. I'm not sure if the guns were there, but for the purpose of today, they came out with their guns. Pulled us over, asked for his driver's license. He turned to me calmly and said, "Watch this." Went through his license and pulled out an Illinois driver's license. Now, before the internet and the computers ruined everything, states had to have reciprocity to enforce traffic violation fines. The officer looked at the Illinois driver's license, a total look of disgust, because he knew he couldn't do anything. He handed it back to my father and said, "Watch the stop sign, watch the yellow lines, and watch the speeding." I was very happy because I had a speeding ticket myself. But he taught me the angles, and that summer I went and got in addition to my Illinois driver's license, again, there were no computers, I got a DC license, a Maryland license, and a Virginia license, so that I could work the angles as well as my dad. One time, we were in his house testing recipes for the magazine, Christmas cookies and Christmas candies, and he and a colleague of ours, Elizabeth Bertolozzi, had spent the day working on them. I came towards the end, and they were frustrated working on the last batch of candy, rum balls. And you mix rum with some chocolate and cook it, and it's supposed to set up into little balls that you roll in sugar. They were really frustrated. They couldn't get the mixture to set up. A lesser man would have said, "You know, we have a whole day of successful candy behind us. This last batch we're going to throw away." But he looked at that batch of gooey chocolate and said, "Fiber. We'll set this chocolate up properly." He reached up and grabbed a jar of Metamucil. We're going to make orange flavored rum balls. And he started mixing it up, and we got our hands dirty, and we were able to roll that mixture into nice little balls. And the next day, I took them to the office, and Loretta's like, no, Ed, no. But my father's not the lesser man. He handed the candy out to the office. I don't know what dosage of Metamucil was in there, but whenever I see rum balls today, I think of rumbles. Life throws an awful lot at you, and my father's lesson with his Dumb But True stories was approach those challenges with enthusiasm and with absurdity. You might solve your problems, or at least you'll entertain yourself. And I'm very proud and very blessed that my father was never the lesser man.